Let's talk about the upcoming round, the Super Sprint over there at Barbagallo, the night races. I'm excited, can't wait for this one. You know, it was a fantastic event last year at Sydney Motorsport Park. I think Barbagallo is going to fucking set the bar even higher. They've resurfaced the track, which is fantastic in some respects. In others, it can take away from the racing as well. But let's see. Let's see how it goes. Can't wait to see it though. I'm just pumped. Can't wait. The night racing is absolutely fantastic. But I think the best circuit for this to be done though is Queensland Raceway. I honestly can't understand. Maybe Queensland Raceway don't want to put the money in to do this, but on a track where it's a paperclip, the lighting towers can be used so efficiently here. That paperclip section where it loops back on itself. All you need is one tower with lights either side. Not just that, the fans can see the whole race. The whole track, everything. I think just economically, it'd be a much more viable solution than tracks where you're going out of view and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a massive fan of Queensland Raceway, but it always does bring exciting racing. And it is a great spectacle for the fans because they're able to see the whole track at the same time. At the same time, I think there can be massive upgrades made there. Some proper grandstands put in for starters, These tracks where they try and build an amphitheatre and they just plough a hill in, the 30-degree angle or whatever. Well, they need to plough, as they do that, then just plough 1 metre sections so you can sit your bloody chairs, level, instead of having to go there with a shovel and dig it deep and you're sitting on an angle and, and people with a blanket are sitting on an angle like this, They need to, honestly, I don't understand how some people think sometimes. But anyway, that's another matter in itself. But anyway, the Super Sport round, and the news this week is Wildcard is, what's his name? Tim Blanchard. Like, what the fuck? What's the point in letting this guy was in the championship for how many seasons? He's stepped down, retired. I don't understand this whatsoever. I thought the whole idea of wildcards is to give these young kids an opportunity or a taste of what it's like in the main game. It's a massive step up from Super. There's now Super 3 to Super 2. And, that step from Super 2 to the main game, as we call it, or, the main championship, is fucking huge. But we're now granting a wild card to a guy that's been in the championship. I said he's retired, and, now I want to race again. I'm fucking, come on. That's not what the wild cards are for. At all. Like, if supercars want to fill the fucking grid, go and auction off the Rex, which is the race entitlements contracts, to someone else, and get them on the grid full time. I'm not a fan of this at all. Like, the guy has had his chance, wasn't successful, decided to retire because he wanted to run business opportunities. Decided, I missed the sport, now I want to have another crack, or I want to get a little bit of seat time for the Enduros coming up. Well, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that. I think this is a bad decision on Supercars' behalf to even allow this. I cannot understand it whatsoever. So there's my thoughts on that one, guys. Love to know your thoughts on that. We still don't know what's going on with T8 with Techno and Jack LeBrock. Obviously, he made no comments at all last week. I can't, I heard something on the telecast. We don't have the technical, or the most up to date stuff, and I'm like, well, hang on, we're all on a control chassis, and look, I understand there's other components, but we're all on a control chassis. You're in the same shape car, which, it's a, the wing package and all that is licensed. So it's not like they've got a 1-year-old wing package or anything like that. They're on the same chassis. They're on a ZB Commodore, the same, they're on the same platform as everyone else, pick up your game, I say. There's, as I've said in the previous video, I think there's internal problems there. There's cultural issues or something like that. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. I'm not within the circle of the team, but there's something going on. There's just something going on that's not right there. And it's really sad because Tekno have been a fantastic, competitors over the years. For a one-car team, they punched above their weight when they had Van Gisbergen. They won Bathurst with Will Davison. Another year with Van Gisbergen, the car conked out with several laps to go, and he was in front by, he had seconds. So, they're a great team when they can get their shit together. But, I just don't know what's going on there at the moment. And I really hope they do get their stuff together because, as I just said, they're a great team when they have it. But, and you can't blame Jack LeBrock if he does want to bail because he's saying, it's an uncompetitive car because, if you want to race, you want to be in the competitive car. And, and I'll switch this to Formula One, at the moment. This is why Formula One is such a friggin' joke. You got 4 cars on the grid that are capable, I think, of winning a championship. And the rest of the grid's there just to make up numbers in case those 4 cars fall over themselves. That's shit. That's absolute. If you can't go into a race weekend and think, we got a chance of winning this, I don't know why you bother turning up. I honestly don't. It's just there's something fundamentally wrong with the business model or the structure of the championship. If teams that are participating can't turn up and say, "Oh, we got to rely on them to falter," and that's what makes V8 supercars absolutely fucking superb. Without doubt, the best championship in the world. In the world, we still have our fucking issues, but without doubt, the best championship in the world. Up there with IndyCar. Oh, that's what I was going to bring up. IndyCar. Gold Coast 600, whatever you want to call it, the Gold Coast event. Why haven't the Queensland government jumped all over getting the Indy Cars back again? I'm gonna take a bit of a left, a bit of an approach here and say I think that why they won't is because of what used to go on down there. Girls getting their boobs out, blah, 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 and then you'd have kids walking around and V8s don't want, supercars don't want to be associated with that. Well, fuck people, come on. I'm sorry, but if you take your kids to an event like that, then educate them about what's going to fucking happen. If you say, oh, well, fucking, my kids shouldn't have to be expanded to that, well, you know what? Grown adults deserve a fucking weekend of partying too, we want to go out and fucking let our hair down and have a bit of fun and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Don't take your fucking kids. If you're offended by it and think it's disgraceful, then don't take your kids. It's like taking a newborn on a fucking airplane. I personally don't think that's right. That's what you got a car for. I go to a football game, a football stadium, for example, and here's a fucking people with their child. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. And people are I know I'm probably going to cop backlash for this, but I don't really care. Think about the noise impact that's coming in on that child. I've seen people with babies less than a month, 2 months old. Children, babies are not meant to go in airplanes and have their ears pressurised like that. They're not meant to go to stadiums and have, 20,000 people fucking shouting and blah, blah, blah. They're not meant to be in crowds of people. I've seen, you go to music festivals and here's fucking, babies. You do not put a child in that environment. That's just fucking crazy. Oh, I cannot. What is wrong with society these days? Anyway, we're getting completely off topic. But, get Indy Cars back. Let's make the GC 600 fucking brilliant again. I remember I went back when I was, I was a young fella, real young fella. I was 20. And, I had some of the best weekends of my entire life, man. You'd wake up at 7 o'clock so hungover, but you'd wake up to the sonic boom of the fucking Indy Cars going around warming up. It It was fucking fantastic, you know, and not just that, what it did for the Gold Coast was absolutely, you know, I know the residents get pissed off, but you live at the Gold Coast. You can't have things both ways, people, you know. So come on, supercars, why aren't we getting the Indy Cars? Again, as I stated in another video, our fans deserve better. Instead of fucking wasting, I can't understand. You go to the tracks these days and you see fucking jumping castles and fucking this and fucking that and just shit that's unrelated to motor racing. Oh, but we've got to entertain the kids. Well, I'm sorry, if your kids aren't into motorsport, then don't take them to the track. You know, we live in a world where it's want. I want this, I want that, I want to be entertained 24/7. Well, you can't be fucking. You need, and you know, I've seen this on another fucking YouTube channel. No bad days. Well, I'm sorry, folks. I hate to say this to you, but that's life. You can't have everything you want in life. You can't be happy 24/7. You can't, you know. We live in this crazy society where we think we need to be entertained 24/7. We can't entertain ourselves, or we fucking can't live without these stupid mobile phones. Like, I personally, I don't, you know, whatever you call them, emails and stuff like that. I don't have that function on my phone. People, you know, people said to me, I don't check my emails every single day, and people are like, well, why not? You got the phone? I said, because. Why can't people pick up the phone, dial it in, and call me? If they want to contact me, call me, you know? Instead of sending me a fucking email. The art of communication is now lost in this world because we send text messages and emails and, you know, I had the bank emailed me to say, excuse me, I was about to sneeze. Excuse me, sorry. Some stuff. I'm like, why don't fucking check my emails? You know, I might check them once a week. You know, and they're saying, well, you need. No, I don't need to fucking do that. You know, I grew up in the time where I left school just as the internet was starting. So that was back in 1995, 96. The internet was just coming into this country. And trust me, I was one of the first to have it at home with my parents because my father worked for the state government and. You know, anyway, we're one of the first to have the internet at home, old dial-up, you know. But then I got out of school, I went and did my trade. I didn't touch a computer for 8-9 years, you know, and that's why these videos lack good quality. I don't know how to edit. I do not know how to sit and edit. I do not know how to, for example, and I'm trying to learn, folks. You got to understand, I'm also, you know, everything's time efficient these days, so I work, I do this, I do that. But as I've said, if I get if I get the viewers on this channel, I'll put more time into it. But I don't know, you know, at the same time, I've got to go do a computer course to learn how to do that. I can't just, you know, I'm also, the way I learn, and this is another big problem, the way we learn, the way you may learn something, you may be able to sit down and read it and do it. I don't, I learn visually. So if someone comes over and shows me how to do something and runs through it with me, that's how I learn. You know, that's a big problem with society again, but that's another fucking issue. Anyway, the point was, get Indy Cars back. Come on, supercars. Step up your game and be more professional. You know, I can't understand why not. Why would you not want to put the Indy Cars back at the Gold Coast 600 with the V8 supercars? It used to be one of the best events in the entire calendar. No doubt about it. As I said, I used to go down, stay on track, you know. You used to get people from Australia wide. Queensland government, what are you doing? You know, honestly, why aren't you jumping all over this? You know, we live in a cutthroat world where, you know, let's look at Formula One, for example. Formula One's bidding Melbourne stole the F1 from Adelaide. You know, we've got little states. We live in Australia, but we're actually divided, which is fucking crazy. But we compete against each other. If Queensland government want to, you know, take things to the next level, let's get Indy Cars. Get the Indy Cars back there. Like, fucking, it was the best event ever. No doubt about it. Ask anyone in the pit lane that was, you know, back there. Ask Scafey, all that kind of stuff. Come on, Supercars. Get the Indy Cars back there. Queensland government, whoever does it, I don't know. Get the Indy Cars back, please.